Hey, everybody. Listen, it's Trending Topics Tuesday. I'm glad to see you in the building. I'm glad to see you here. We got stuff to talk about. Okay, Trending Topic Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. And what is our trending topics about tonight? Wordplay. Some people think because you mush up the words, shake them up in the bag, swishing them around, it's going to mean something different. Who's on the docket tonight? Lizzo. She puts up this dramatic post. She's playing with words. Sort of like Giselle did on the Real Housewives of Potomac, but we're moving forward. She's playing with words. She puts out this whole message, I quit. She knew that was going to get the people talking, get the people in an uproar. She goes, I quit. Then she comes out today. I don't know where the confusion is. I mean, let me explain myself. I would never quit music. What I quit is responding to the negative. Girl, go sit down somewhere. You said what you said and you meant what you meant. Yes, Emmanuel, she's problematic. You said what you said. You meant what you said. But then when everybody came in your inbox and was like, Lizzo, please don't quit, you got your superpower back. Now you back on the Instagram 2 seconds later in your bathing suit. Talking about, oh, don't I look good? I love me. We're selling this. We're selling that. Whatever. Girl, please. Wordplay. Then we got Stevie J. Listen, listen, this Diddy thing, what they want to do is they want to crucify him in the public. And I have to say this all the time because I know people, you get somebody who don't really come over here much or don't know me, and they're like, oh my God, Diva, he's a monster, he's a this, he's been a monster. But some of your faves have been partying with him for decades. So what does that say about them? Are you ready to dump them too? No. A lot of people were at those FO parties. A lot of people were at the all-white parties. A lot of people were in Diddy's face for decades. A lot of our faves. There's a clip out there. He had a billionaires brunch or something like that. Jay-Z was there, and many other billionaires was right there by his side. So we love to say, oh my goodness, once we hear about it and we think it's official. But let's be clear, if we're going to do the OMG, then we need to do the OMG to all of the people that was in his face. I think he had a 50th birthday party. Janet Jackson was there. Naomi Campbell was there. They all were there. Come on, Latasha. The politicians, the actors, the musicians. So we're ready to tear Diddy's whole house down. But if we're going to say, oh my God, he's so nasty, he's so despicable, well, then let's add the other people to the list. Because we still buying their music. Come on now, Emmanuel. Selective outrage. It most certainly is. He had a whole bunch of people. Little Rodney claimed all of this was going on while they was making the Love album. Well, go check out the Love album and see how many artists was on that. So all of those artists came to the studio and they saw nothing. There's about 10 to 15 artists on that Love album. He said it was going to be iconic, and he meant it. They got artists at the artists at the artists at the artists at the artists that did a cameo on that Love album. So Little Rodney said this was going on in the studio on a regular basis. So none of them saw nothing. Is Diddy the only deviant one? That's what we're gonna do. We gonna play that. And I know. And listen, you over here, you can have your own feelings. You ain't lying, Leonard. We ain't gonna have nobody left, but we gotta tell the truth and shame the devil. Everybody like, oh, Diddy, can't stand him. Diva, don't play me. Hold on, because we got a lot of other music we shouldn't be playing either. They distance themselves now. But Jay-Z and our girl, your girl that y'all love, Beyonce, they party with him a lot. So now everybody want to act like, oh my God, it was just Diddy. Gotta stop. It wasn't just Diddy. It's a long list of celebrities that were there, that saw, that heard, that knew. A lot of them were friends with Cassie. They never saw Cassie with an alleged black eye scar, nothing. What's the girl with the red hair? He came over, he did this. Well, you didn't speak up in real time. But we'll carry on. We'll just act like Diddy's the only deviant one. And we'll pretend like when he threw those FO parties, those house parties, the backyard party, the this, the that, and the other, we'll pretend that not another celebrity was in the building. They were there. So Stevie J, and listen, I told you, listen, the man did what he did. And whatever he did, he need to pay. But I will give this to Stevie J. He know he was there. He know he partied with this man. He said, I know this man for 29 years. Now, Stevie claimed he ain't never seen nothing. Listen, I don't know what that man did or didn't see, but he claimed he didn't see, saw nothing. He said they ain't criminals, and they did no criminal activity. And Stevie J was in the house when the raid happened. He said he saw all the red dots on his chest. Yes, he did. Now, let me say this to you, because many people, they 10 toes down. That's how a raid go. Do y'all have the raid manual? Can anybody show it to me? Crystal, nobody's over here trying to make Diddy the victim. So let's be clear on that. What I like to do over here is put everything out on the table. And what I'm saying is that Diddy ain't the only one. But what we want to do is we want to act like, oh, we only going to mention Diddy. No, we got to mention everybody. If you really want to clean the streets, if you really want to stop this from happening, you can't act like when you catch somebody, they was doing it solo. Epstein didn't do it alone. Weinstein didn't do it alone. You heard Cat Williams say he had to protect his virgin hoe. So everybody in Hollywood knows that this goes down. Listen, you saw that documentary on Netflix, Quiet on the Set? This ain't just Diddy. No. You saw that man was able to sit up on the TV, act like he didn't know what he didn't do wrong, and he just apologized. Ain't nobody going to raid his house. He said, I'm sorry if I, made anybody feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it was wrong of them making them massage me, this, that, and the other. You got whole young child actors that are adults now that are traumatized. It impacted their entire life. And that man gets to sit on the TV talking about, I apologize. I apologize. That's what he said. I sat there and I said that. I said, "Ooh, ain't that something?" He gets to say, "I'm sorry." You got kids that are adults now that were traumatized by him, and they said, "Quiet on the set," and that's what they meant. Quiet on the set. That's what he get to say. Now, this Tyrone Blackburn, whoever gave this man his law degree, whatever state he passed the bar in, shame on every school he ever went to. And shame on every teacher that ever passed him. I never studied law. I never went to law school, and I didn't take the bar. But I feel like me as a regular citizen, I could do better than Tyrone Blackburn. Now he's saying we got a lawsuit coming about King Combs, Christian Combs, saying that Christian is just like his daddy. We got a proof with pictures of a girl that says that Christian Combs did XYZ to her. And again, let me be 100% clear. In case somebody comes through in the building and they get confused. I don't know what any of them did. But I want to say this. What lawyer puts out that a lawsuit is coming before it's out? Put up a shut up, Tyrone. If the girl is suing, and my thing is, Christian Combs is 26. He turned 26 the other day. He had a birthday. So that means if something happened to said girl, why is she coming to do a criminal law, a civil lawsuit? Why won't she go to the cops? Because there's no statute of limitations shouldn't have ran out on her situation. That's why I did the video the other day and said they're making this a whole circus. And they're trying to distract us. And why they want to do the distraction is because they want to convict them and the whole family in the eyes of the public. But if you break it down and you think for 2.2 seconds, you'd be like, okay, this is a mess. A lot of cases against Diddy, I get it, because a lot of them, the statute of limitations ran out, so they got to hit him with a civil suit. But Christian Combs is 26. And this girl is saying this happened to her. It got to be in recent years. So why not go to the cops? Especially you say you got pictures, you got evidence. Take it to your local police station and get the kid locked up. Or the young adult. Tyrone is messy on the highest level. He's a disgrace to the law profession. He wants to be famous. And he's risking, if he has true victims, he is risking their lives and their case because he wants to run around here and be famous. The very life that he's trying to take down is the life that Tyrone, in my opinion, wants to be part of. He wants to be famous. He wants notoriety. He's not worried about justice. Let's Dr. Love out a whole cracker that box. And listen, you want a real lawyer? You better call Cassie. I know today, yes it is. And you see he made a whole mess out of that situation too, right? Remember, they had girls and girls and girls and girls lined up to come out against Tiny and Tia, and I'm still waiting to see the case come through. Where they at? Where the girls at? Where they be? That was Tyrone. Yeah, they are, because of his rookie mistakes. How long has he been in practice? And that picture is beautiful, Special K. Come on now, I'm feeling the dress. He's a mess. He's in this street wanting this man to be crucified in the public. Okay, boo, you did it. Now what's next? Pull out another trick out your bag. Because I'm seeing through the smoke. Now, again, I'm going to be very clear. If Christian, Justin, Diddy, whoever else was in that house did something, they need to pay. But what I am going to need you to do is stop running a whole circus. A whole circus. Y'all bust up in that house like he was a kingpin and had millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of substances, pow-pows, and everything else. And I could tell they didn't think. You know, I've been consumed with this darn thing, talking to friends. I could tell they didn't think it was that serious in terms of substances and pow-pows, because if it was, they would have been busting down walls and other stuff too. Even when they went in the safe, you saw the safe open. It wasn't all the stuff was just thrown and tossed about. It's a mess. They want to tear him down in the public. They know he got an ego. They want to tear him down in the public. And what they're doing right now, if there is a trial, where can he get a fair jury at? Everybody's tainted. And when I tell you everybody, they got every news outlet, even on YouTube, people who never really did this particular culture of commentary, even they talking about Diddy. I seen a YouTuber the other day, I'm like, oh, she don't even do this type of stuff. Talking about Diddy. I ain't mad at them, but I'm just telling you that everybody's talking about it. Even when he gets arrested, gets convicted, maybe have to go to trial, where do they get a fair jury at? You won't be able to dig one up out of a garbage can. What are you talking about? Puffy's real problem is Homeland Security in New York disagreed. They were looking for hard drives, USBs, etc. He could get the same fair trial that Weinstein and Epstein got. Weinstein and Epstein, you did not hear every day for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks straight about said crimes. No, you did not. And if you go and pull up the Weinstein and Epstein cases, you do not have pictures of young girls. You had a picture. It wasn't on the same level. No, it was not, Sharon. No, it was not. Y'all could go back and check. The news don't go away. The news don't go away. You could Google it now. This thing, the Weinstein and the Epstein, it was a low level. And remember, they told us in January, after all of this time with the Weinstein and Epstein, they told us in January they was going to release the book. They was going to release the names. Have you got the names? Did they release them? Because let's be clear. If they released the names from the Epstein and the Weinstein, there were some Black Hollywood names and those books too. Did they release them? No, they did not. Will we ever get them released? No, we won't. You know when we might get another name slip out? When that person is going on to be with glory. They handled it totally different. Did you see Homeland Security go bust up in their house? No, you did not. And if y'all know something, I don't do anything or really talk about anything unless it already hit the news. So you can Google this, okay? They told Epstein years before they arrested him to knock it off. He couldn't stop. He was another one. Won't stop, can't stop. And he's gone now. So no, they did not handle it the same way. We're going to stop that right here, right now. They did not. They did not. And then that Weinstein was coming with a walker. All of a sudden, this man was fine. You saw him on the red carpet. He was fine. His trial came. He had a walker. He had this. He couldn't do that. He needed fair treatment. He couldn't be in this jail. He couldn't do that. Go back and look at the case, y'all. This ain't Diva making nothing up. I'm telling you, it is what it is. That Epstein girlfriend that's behind bars right now, they took a minute too before they even really did what they did to her. And they wasn't going to do it. They had to. Why? Because the people was losing their mind and they wanted somebody to pay. The Epstein victims was pissed that he was gone because they wanted him to face the music in court. So when he was gone, they was looking, who can we sue? How can we sue? This, that, and other. Come on, he was being ridiculous. All of a sudden, he was just totally sick. And I want you to be clear. I ain't trying to say that Puffy is a victim, this, that, and the other. Nope, not trying to say that. And let me tell you something too. They spared Weinstein's wife. The people won't cut Diddy kids no slack. They saying they knew, they were there, this and that. Well, what about Weinstein's wife? Just like Cosby's wife. If we're going to keep it 100, we can keep it 100. Camille didn't see nothing, didn't know nothing, didn't hear nothing. I'm just trying to if we're going over here, y'all, if we're going to talk, we got to talk. They didn't hear nothing? No, Weinstein wife. And let me tell you, Weinstein, and again, y'all could go look this up. Weinstein was forcing the actresses to wear his wife's designs because she's a whole designer. They were forced to wear her designs on the red carpet. She ain't know nothing. They were forced to wear her designs on the red carpet. And you know, when you on the red carpet, they like, who you wearing? Louis Vuitton. Who you got on? And they were half of them that was underhand, that was in the Weinstein movies. They always said whatever his wife designed, they was wearing her clothes. You think it's just because they wanted to? Epstein's not in jail. Epstein is in the grave, Sharon J. And Weinstein's in jail. But the clear facts is we always want to say jail the people once we know about the names. What I'm saying here right now is get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all. And we just talking, Sharon. I love you. Listen, get them all. Because until you get them all, it's going to continue and continue and continue. And they need stricter guidelines on when the kids are in the entertainment industry. I done talked enough. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? Because this is wordplay. Thank you, Tay Tay. I need a choo-choo. Order board, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and we're talking wordplay. Stevie J said he got a 29-year friendship with Diddy. And he's sick of the people lying on his friend. That's what Stevie J said. Listen, I don't know. Lizzo playing with words. I quit. Girl. She another one. Y'all want to know what's funny? When I first, and y'all could go back and find the video. I don't know, because I got too many videos. But when I first, maybe Jamie, go on and come back in. Do I look blurry to everybody else? Maybe Jamie, go on and come back in. But listen, when I first did the lawsuit that Lizzo dancers had against her, oh, y'all plucked tomatoes at me. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all was like, they lying. I'm going to come back in, Sebastian. Do I look blurry? All right. Y'all was like, they lying. Everybody's saying I look blurry. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully, go out and come back in. Hopefully, it'll work out, y'all. Because I don't look blurry to myself. They was like, yo, Diva, the dancers are lying. That's and this and that. Lizzo would never. You'll see when it's your faves. When it's your faves and there's not too much propaganda out there, you clutch your pearls. So it's okay. Diddy would definitely do XYZ because enough people have accused them. But Lizzo dancers are liars. Let me bring the people on in the building. I'm gonna bring all people in the building. Once I bring the people in and do the first story, I will kick out and come back in, and maybe I won't be so blurry because everybody they're saying I'm blurry. Okay, so let me board this train. Hey, Leo,
what's happening, Diva?
What's going on? Hey, Katrina.
Hello, y'all. I'm here tonight. Choo choo choo.
Am I looking blurry to y'all?
Yes.
Now that you come in, you don't look blurry, but when you were doing your commentary, you did look kind of blurry.
Yeah, like on my other device. Yeah.
Choo, everybody. Am I still looking blurry now?
No, you look good now.
You look good.
You look good.
Okay.
Let me look on my other one.
Yeah,
on my other device.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I do. All right. So I'm gonna pull this first story in. Then Leo, you know you're gonna do what you do, take over for me. I'm gonna go out and come back in and see if maybe the blurriness will stop. Okay. I do. Who asked me? Yes, I do have a storm in my area. I do. It's pouring down, raining. But we're gonna get into this. You know, here's the thing. And so I'll put a little footwork here and say that, listen, up front, I want to tell you, whatever Diddy did, whatever deeds he need to pay for, he need to pay for them. But Stevie J, is he messy? He messy. He got a lot of dirt under his belt too, okay? With the allegedly having problems with putting his hands on the people. He seems to like, you know, the cocoa and some other stuff like that too. But what I'm going to deal with this piece of it right now is I give it to Stevie J. He been in this man's face for 29 years. And you know what? He's standing on business, okay? And he is, you know, saying, listen, I know this man. He my friend. Now, listen, granted, he could be giving him shelter and whatnot, because I'm thinking you was in the house when the raid happened. Now, here's another problem, and I know that property is humongous. It is. I just can't even imagine seeing something like that in real time, like in person, right? And if you notice in one of the videos, the intercom system in that house, I can only imagine you gotta call your son and be like, "Hey, I'm over here in the West Wing. Come see me for a minute. Come holler at me." That thing is just humongous. But I also think that he had too many people just staying at the house, and that's never good for kids, right? And we're hearing about that now, but I'm wondering if when they was younger, did that happen? It took me back to the what's her name movie? Oh God, she's the singer. She passed away. And I love her too. But when I watched this movie, the name will come to me in a minute. She, you know, her dad was a pastor, and the church folks used to come over all the time, and they used to have parties and be playing.
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin. Thank you so much. And, you know, it just reminds me of how one of the party goers, you know, allegedly snuck to her room. Like, I'm just like, you know, he got too close for comfort with these parties. And even if he bought the little house not little, but the house next door, it was just too much. But I commend Stevie J for saying, you know what? It's my friend. We've been doing this for 29 years, and I ain't about to, you know, back out on him now.
That's what you call a good friend.
That's what you call. Come on. Every now and then, come on, Sebastian. Every now and then we connect. So Stevie J calls out 50 Cent, calls him an Uncle Tom for Diddy feud, and describes the Miami raid. Okay, and let me go first here to the part where he said they treated us like criminals. Let me play this part. Ain't it messy how when you go on these things, they have ads for all the things
Stevie,
you're looking at?
it's my understanding that when the raid down in Miami, were you on Star Island or were you actually at Diddy's house? I know you were in Miami.
I was at his crib working in the studio. I was sitting outside the studio door, and I heard a big boom. Now, mind you, before we get into this, I'm not a spring chicken, even though I look fly and stuff. But I've witnessed some historical events of excessive force, but none like this since Saddam Hussein or El Chapo or Pablo Escobar, even Osama bin Laden. I heard a big boom. So I'm thinking, like, a lot of people do work on the island all day long. So I'm figuring someone dropped some materials. Heard it again. Turn my head, I'm hearing do, 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 do. Armored vehicles, 3 big armored vehicles come. Dudes jump out, I got 50 dots on my shirt. Screaming, yo, get on the ground. I'm like, yo, really? I'm the only one here. Took me outside, I asked to speak to the higher ups. I was under arrest. And they said, no, you're being detained. I want to speak to the higher ups. Spoke to the higher ups. I said, am I under arrest? They said, no, you're not. Let me let you go. Boom. Let me go check your bags. You don't have any weapons and all. I'm like, I don't have any weapons.
Stevie, what did they take from the house? Were you able to see?
I saw them take like a bag of one bag.
Well, did they take electronics? Because they did in Los Angeles.
I'm sure they took some electronics, some of the camera stuff and all that. Probably they didn't want him to get a look at what they were doing in his crib, like how they came in with the armored trucks. Of course, they took all that stuff.
What did you see when you walked back in?
I just don't want to get too much into that. I just know that I walked in and they messed the man crib up. You know what I'm saying? And they did his crib dirty. And I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Can you tell us what his reaction was when you spoke to him the next day?
He was just devastated, just merely because he was going out of the country with his daughters for spring break, and they had to witness things like that at the airport. I believe that would kind of shift the thinking of any man in general. If you're going on vacation with your kids and the feds show up and ruin your trip, and it's their senior year, you know what I mean? So I know he was more hurt by that.
Whew. I'll interject more as we go along. Leo, your thoughts?
I'm going to highlight hence okay, first, let's just say this. Stevie G is 10 toes down for his boy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That is his homeboy. He is holding the line for his homeboy. And I see their friendship. I see how long they rock. Stevie G was an intricate part of the success of the early days of Bad Boys Entertainment, with other artists coming up with lyrics and beats. And he was very intricate in the 112 days and the total days. And he's held on a long time with his boy. Do I feel like they share that same closet that all the skeleton bones is being held in? Yes, I do. I feel like they share that same closet of all the skeletons. He know where all the bodies is buried, and he does know that if Puffy go down, he probably will go down with Puffy, and he will not be contributing to any downfall of Puffy because it entails him as well. But he's still a good friend, though. He could go run in and talk to the feds and throw him all up under the bus, because most people would, just to save their own skin. So he's a good friend, and I see that. I see that in Stevie J. He ain't never been a good friend to any of them women or them baby mamas, but I digress. As far as the law enforcement, I'm from the South, so I am probably jaded in the way law enforcement treat people. I have personally seen law enforcement beat people down to the ground with their billy clubs. So I have personally seen violence from law enforcement. So if I don't see nobody get busted upside their head, I may not necessarily see it as overly excessive because I have seen excessive force done. I've been in the car with black men, and I'm in the back seat, and we get pulled over with guns, like guns. I mean, not. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Pows, both sides of the car, and it was all because they didn't like the blue light that the gentleman had in the car, and they are aggressive here in the South.
Mm-hmm.
So I may not be a good barometer on what's excessive from law enforcement because I've seen so much excessive things happen with law enforcement.
Yeah. Whew. Katrina, you're up.
Good evening, y'all. The birds of a feather flock together. Cause he ain't no better than Diddy. He did some of the things Diddy done too. They so things, allegedly things Diddy have done, like taping Eve with a sex tape. He had to take that off. Yeah, but he taped her. He was going with Eve, bringing Mimi in the house while he with Eve, and then Mimi thought that she was gonna get the better treatment. He did her the same way he did her with Jocelyn. So yeah, they two peas in a pod. So I'm quite sure he's gonna stick to his boy. They're like them three monkeys: the see none, talk none, and hear none. So they sticking together because, like you said, like Leo said, he's been his boy for a while since Mariah Carey breakdowns music with what the fuck them guys name, Crazy Bone and all that. He been around. But I'm just saying, birds of a feather flock together. Allegedly, that things that Diddy have done, we don't know until we see everything. But we've heard the stories, but we never seen it with eye to eye. So, like I said, he's standing 10 toes down for his boy, which he should do because his boy might end up turning on him. So, I can see that. But that's all I got, y'all.
Yeah, you know what's sad though? Again, he's another one. All that talent. It's like they had the opportunity, Diddy, Stevie J, and so many others, because they're not the only ones, right? Had the opportunity to really change history in such a positive way. And this behavior that unfortunately was learned in the industry, right? Was learned in the industry. And I have to say this, and I say this to all people I know. I'm talking about even at work on our level, whether you work at Walmart, Target, corporate America, whatever. There's things that others will be able to do that you can never do. And if you do it and you think you're going to get away with it, the minute they need to shut you down and shut you up, they're going to bring up said thing that you did, even if they was doing it with you, and you're going to go down way before they ever will. So,
And they will. I'm sorry, Diva. But
yeah.
I'm just saying, the people that they had, the artists that was under Bad Boy was some good artists. I mean, you had Total, you had 112, you had Black Rob, you had Craig Mack, you had all these people, and all you did was strip everything from them. You took their work and you took credit for it. You got paid off the work that these people did. These people go out on tour. That stuff is not easy. And they did all this just so you can just take their money. So, I mean, and that's not alleged. That's true. But anyway, I'm sorry, Diva. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. But see, you know what though? They learned from the industry because that's what the industry was doing to black people their whole lives. Right. You go back to James Brown and you was getting a penny per record. And see, James Brown, but he's another one, right? He was a terror to the ladies, an absolute terror to the point where when they did that, they did the whole James Brown special. I never even got to finish watching all of it, but the daughters were talking in that special, and the mother refused to talk because the mother was the one that was getting beat down by him, and she's like, that's your father, go do your thing, but I don't have nothing to say. So they learned this behavior in the industry. If you go back, I want to say it was it TLC? Pebble stole from them. So they all learn this deviant behavior from each other, and nobody decides to come in the industry and kind of break the cycle. Yeah. Let me just add this to the conversation, and then I'm coming to you, Tay Tay. This is because Stevie J he's pissy mad at 50 Cent, but see, 50 Cent is a whole troll, and now 50 Cent is being accused of doing things and putting his hands on his mates, and who knows? We don't know yet at that.
Whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
None of it. All of it. I mean,
I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Tom cats like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to put me. I don't know if y'all saw the post where 50 posted about me. Of course, you guys see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 has been going after Diddy and everybody associated with him for months now, ever since the Cassie lawsuit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you can't brush under the rug. I don't see anybody reporting about what Tatted Up Holly said about him beating her up, and about, you know what I'm saying, his other baby mom saying beating her up. I just look at it as, he wants to bring the Black community down worse than anyone else. How is that so? I said what I said on my post, and I'm standing on that too. Now, since he didn't accept what my offer to him, and he want to continue to be a comedian, why don't you go make some movies with Michael Blackson and don't talk about me?
Okay.
If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to donate to charity, donate the bread to charity and fight. Don't stop being a girl and talking about dudes. I find it funny that, when they first try to crucify somebody, they go through the media first, and they're just flooded with lies and propaganda. I'm not concerned about this this dude Curtis. You know what I'm saying? He's Uncle Tom, and that's just what it is. So I'm going to speak on 1,000% of what I know to be true about my guy. My spirits are up. He's spending time with his children and his mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out. He's doing very well. I've known this guy for 29 years. See, I'm not just a guy off the internet trolling. I'm a first-hand witness.
Not a witness, but okay, where am I at? Tay Tay, you're up.
I just don't like Stevie J at all. I really don't. I remember him on the Love and Hip Hop back in those days. I never really liked him. All he do is just mess up Mimi with Jocelyn. That right there. He just no good. He's just a snake. He's a cheater, lying. And I can think of right there about him right there. I say he want to stay with his boy right there. He's going down to and lock the key forever. That's all.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Tay Tay. Felicia, are you there?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So, me and my girl Tay Tay, we stand together. I don't like him either. And he can go get clean. They could share the cups, come think about it. 29 years, you share the cups, you share the same cell. I don't know, according to little Rodney, there's a lot that they've been sharing too. So they could keep sharing behind the bars. You could know somebody 29 years and don't really know them, or you can know them and have a very intimate understanding. So you're there, you're prepared to go down with your friend, and we know what kind of friend Mr. Combs is. He got a lot of friends, and when things go down, he's gone. They're held, they're stopped. They get caught with the pow. They get caught with all the funny little substances, and then they got to go do time. So, yeah. Good luck with that, Stevie. I'm done.
Thank you. Dr. Love, you're up.
Okay. So I see Stevie J allegedly is being paid big time. This type of loyalty is beyond, I'll call the norm. For you to get on TMZ and then to come after 50 Cent, knowing 50 Cent is a internet troll, like knowing 50 Cent gonna come for his neck. So we about to see a show, I feel like, with them too. But I just do not believe that allegedly Puffy is paying um, Stevie J like this. But then again, I do believe it because why was you at his studios of all studios doing music at that time? Y'all knew what was about to go down. And Stevie J, whether you know it or not, all you doing is letting the public know just more and more that y'all did know it was about to go down. So yeah, and you was there to manage the raid and probably feel like you about to get paid as well. So Stevie J, just go have several seats because you messed yourself up on Love and Hip Hop. The true you came out and how you was. So yeah, just go have several seats. And I feel like nobody's coming after you because they know you don't have that much money. So yeah. All right, that's it.
Thanks. I mean, I think Stevie J probably lives there, and Diddy don't pay according to Lil Rodney, so he probably getting his room and board free, and he's good with that. And get to go to the refrigerator and eat whenever he need to eat or whatever the case may be. And I think he's mad at 50. He's mad at 50 Cent on his own terms because 50 Cent is saying that was Stevie J in the compromising video. E, are you there? You're up.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh
Well,
my.
this is what I see. No, this is what I see. Black people look at other Black people who are being accused of heinous crimes and say, oh, they don't have to bang on the door that hard. They didn't have to knock all the kids' stuff on the floor. They didn't have to mess up the house like this. It's always what the white people didn't have to do. But the real question is, why did you continue to travel down this path despite the signs of warning? Because there are always signs before destruction. There's always warning before destruction. And even if it is merely your intuition saying, I don't need to be here right now. Okay. Me personally, I am not interested in why they messed up the house and why Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein didn't get the same treatment. That's not important. Harvey Weinstein's daughter disowned him, both of them. That was in the newspaper. So we cannot compare Diddy's kids to Harvey's kids because Harvey's kids said, go away from me with this. And Diddy's kids, on the other hand, are all on Instagram and Snapchat because I wasn't even looking for it. It just popped up. It's like it's in the algorithm. Acting gaudy, being flamboyant, just like their father, like nothing is going on. Read the room and deactivate your social media because Jeffrey Epstein's longtime girlfriend got 20 years in prison for her involvement with that Epstein organization. So I want people to be clear. People who affiliate themselves with longtime criminals have only two choices. One, you can turn for the state, like Carisha allegedly, and become a witness. Or two, you can stand in line for your mugshot, get your prison ID, and you can make license plate and be the jury like the rest of them. Don't look in my direction for sympathy for a man who left his kids to the feds, and then the kids were posting on Instagram and showing PDA the next day like nothing happened. This is not an E problem. I can't feel sorry for people who do not feel sorry for themselves. Life is going on as usual for these rich people. And as for Stevie J, what he is doing, I call this clout chasing. Stevie is thriving off of this back and forth between he and Curtis. He loves the attention. Okay, he's a troll. And when Stevie says he never witnessed any of the acts that Little Rod described in the paperwork, I find that hard to believe because in 2012, Jocelyn Coqueline Hernandez, and that's the name she gave herself, so don't come for me in the chat. I love Jocelyn. She told us then in 2012, Stevie likes the pink pills too, the white pills too. Stevie watches the man-on-man action movies too, if you're catching the underlying meaning. And Stevie is fluid too. This is all according to Jocelyn. So why would I sit here and listen to somebody like Stevie and that performative verbiage that he gave to the TMZ after a raid by Homeland Security, and you getting on here talking like this, Stevie. This is embarrassing. If they're taking this as a joke, right? And then on the flip side, they want to play on Black people's empathy and say, why did they have to do this to us? I've never seen them. What did he say? They didn't even do this to Osama bin Laden or whatever the verbiage was. If it's so serious and you really are looking for empathy and he's so devastated, why are you speaking on his behalf? Why are you doing this interview? Rule number one, when there's an active investigation, what do? You keep your mouth shut. So all of them are playing in our face. And the last thing any of them are going to get from me is sadness. I say, get them and get them all.
Appreciate you, E. Thank you so much. And Sebastian, I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second. Let me just interject this right here too. Because Justin Mom spoke out and she gave some inside footage as to what went down that day in the inside, and said, her son was done dirty.
Yeah, that's what all moms say.
All right, Sebastian, you're up.
So I hope you guys can hear me well. Um, Stevie J and Diddy have a very long relationship, a good friendship for 29 years, as Miss Felicia has said. He's out here defending him, calling 50 Cent all types of names. You don't want to send for 50 Cent because he's vicious on social media. We all know this. He's very vicious. This is not the troll you want to look for. But Stevie J is very problematic.
So right.
As E mentioned about the booger sugar that he likes a lot, and these are things that Diddy allegedly likes as well. Jocelyn has mentioned a lot of things about 50, not 50 Cent, oh God, Stevie J, that are very problematic. And we saw on Growing Up Hip Hop the way the daughter said he was a horrible father. Um, so my message to Stevie J and P Diddy: if you're such a good friend, when P Diddy gets convicted and has to serve his time, you can voluntarily serve your time as well with him and share the cell. Since you guys share a lot, you guys share houses, y'all share probably food the same way too, since y'all do that. And you can also share bodily fluids with each other as well in the cell if you want to, if that's what you guys like to do. This is completely wrong. How people are forgetting how he just compared the raid that was done at Diddy's house to some of the biggest world terrorists in the world that have done horrible stuff. Stop being mad when the people do their job, i.e., the feds, when they did their job to make sure that they can find certain things. Your kids, Diddy, and you are wrong. If y'all never did no crime, they wouldn't be knocking on your doors. Well, not knocking, invading your house and everything with a warrant. They wouldn't. They would not. I'm pretty sure they had to sit before a judge, show there was substantial evidence for a reason to issue said raid. I'm tired of this nonsense that we have to somehow have sympathy for criminals. You did the crime, now deal with it. And
Hello? Okay.
You did the crime, now deal with it.
Mhm.
Stop crying, stop whining. And as E said, I saw it on my Snapchat or Instagram too, where the son, less than 24 hours of the raid, him and his girlfriend were locking lips and all. Like, what is this? What is this? Kim's son, what is this? It's as if nothing happened, smiling, giggly, and everything. Deactivate the social media. The twins need to deactivate the social media. All the kids need to deactivate the social media. And I know a lot of y'all keep on asking, where's Ava? Where's Ava? Well, Ava's not Diddy's child. Diddy never adopted Ava. That was a whole joke that he did on Instagram Live with her. That's it.
Thank you, Sebastian. Julius, you're up.
DBI is another one that needs to be clink clink. Yeah, it's DBI said it. You need to be clink clinked.
Thank you, Julius. Dustin, you're in the building. Hey, you're up.
Hey, I just put in this is a whole bad situation, and I pray for the whole thing. I pray for the whole people and the whole situation. You know, I I pray for the people, and I hope it gets a better situation. I pray for everybody I hope that everybody gets their justice and everything else. But I pray for everything that's going on in this situation, and I hope it don't get worse before it gets better. But sometimes it has to.
Whew, good gosh, you ain't lying there. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate you.
It seems like I think it's going to get worse, David, because every time I see something about what we're talking about, it gets more interesting, and I hope it don't, but I think we're going to have to, because every day it seems like there's more evidence coming out about this.
Mm.
Hey Diva, if I may say something, somebody asked, where is Mr. Combs' mama? Has she been pretty silent? Well, you know, she never.
He's with her. Stevie
Can I
J, hold on
can
one
I?
second. I said, hold on one
Sorry.
second. Stevie J said he's with his mom and the kids and the daughters. When he said this is their last year of high school.
Oh, okay. So did her mouth and her face heal since he beat her down, or what? Is she doing good? I mean, what's she gonna say? What did little Roddy say? He said he told him that he would run his own mother over if she got in his way. Come on, what's she gonna say?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to move forward to the next story. I will say this in terms of the situation and whatever, whether we don't have to agree whether it's forced or not forced or whatever the case may be. But the thing is, when it comes to rules, laws, and regulations, in my opinion, you got to be mindful of them, because today they're happening to that person, but tomorrow it may happen to you or your family member. So all I'm saying is, if you are said to do something a certain way, do something a certain way. So everybody, let's be clear. They said, oh, well, they didn't know who was in there, who wasn't in there. They don't just do a raid like that, and they have Homeland Security and they have that amount of people. They was watching them for days before they did the raid. And if you know anybody who is in law enforcement or that type of area, or no Homeland Security, or work in DC or all of that, they don't do a cold raid. Remember, y'all said yourself, they got to sign off on it. So when they sign off on it, way before that, they're scouting the place out. That's why it was ever, give me a minute, Dustin. That's why they was able to have all of those dots on Stevie J. They got people on roofs, everything like that, just looking in, seeing what they see. And the other people got the stuff that's on the ground, got the stuff in their air, movement here, movement there. You saw they had the drone, because they was ready to send that drone throughout that house to see if anybody could have possibly been there that wasn't there. They already knew what the deal was. They knew that Diddy left the house. Listen, come on now, Keisha. I mean, ask somebody who know. When we talk about these things, I want us to dissect it and think about it on some more levels. They knew what they knew. They knew how often a housekeeper came and left. When the people drop off the mail, not drop off the mail, because and the reason why they knew is because when they go and they're on the ground like that, they want to make sure that there's not a possibility that something, somebody that they didn't know about may be arriving that day that they're about to pull up. And they make a mistake bumping into them and maybe pow them, thinking they was coming after them and they just was coming in to work, or they were a delivery person or something like that, right? So it's come on now, Special K. The raid was to prove a point so they could throw proof that come on now. It was planned. But they surveillance the place at the very low end a week before they even go in there like that. So
can I ask you something?
Wait, give me a minute. And yet, they mapped out everything. Come on now, they mapped out. I told y'all before, they got the blueprint of that land. And what they knew was that this person said this was over here. They knew what rooms they was going to go to, and maybe they was going to bump into something else, or all that case, whatever the case may be. But at the very low end, they scoped that thing out to see movement here and there for a week, because they don't want to bump into the mailman, the this, the that, because that may scare somebody. Because all of these people that work, some of these people are trigger happy. Go ahead, E. What do you want to ask me about the moving to the next?
I want to say something after E.
Okay.
So
I want to say something, but I'll wait till after E goes.
You'll go right after E, Dustin. Go ahead, E.
So what you're saying makes sense. That sounds logical to me. I believe everything you're saying. My question is, if they staked out the property, and even if this was all for show, and they just wanted to tear him down in the court of public opinion, I can go for that. My question is, why should we, as the public, have any sympathy for that? After the things that he has been accused of, which most of us believe, even if that was all for a show, why does that garner any sympathy from us?
No, so here's the thing, E. Let me be clear. I'm not asking anybody to have any sympathy, but what I'm saying is, think about how we should always want, no matter who the person is, them to follow proper protocol rules and do things in a certain way that all of us. This man was not accused of, anybody like having people in the house, in the basement, this, that, and the other. I don't want to go too far off the beaten path, because literally we could talk about this all day long. So what I'm saying is that, the excessiveness with the amount of this they had and the way they did things and so forth and so on, it was messy, but I'm gonna leave that alone. So, and I'm also saying too, at some point, there's some cases where we're like, oh, you is innocent until proven guilty. And there's other cases where we're like, no, they said it's guilty 100%, and we're going to crucify them in the public eye. We could wrap into this Jonathan Majors thing like this. This man, now this is a case where this man is seen on video running, and yes, he has a prior history, but I can't go there because we're going to be here forever. Dustin, really quick, 60 seconds. What did you want to say?
My question, I just want to give a shout out to News Nation, Ashley Banfield. She's doing the best job on this case, and I do believe that he's proven innocent until proven guilty, and I hope this stuff that comes out about him is gonna turn around and be whatever happens, but he is innocent and until proven guilty in my mind, so I'm not going to sit there and put charges on him when he hasn't been charged yet that I'm aware of. So I'm going to wait and see what comes out about this, but it is a very sad situation.
Thank you, Dustin. Okay, I got to move forward. Yeah, I know a man that was
Sorry about that, Diva.
For yeah. They don't just really, and the reason why they don't just do that, especially on that Diddy level, going to that, especially the one at Star Island, whatever, they need to have some details of the roundabouts, who's coming, who's going, this and that. And God forbid if Baby Love was there. So they knew a lot before they just went into that place. Sebastian, really quickly, 60 seconds.
I see that some people want to compare the raids and everything. Okay, there are different protocols for different types of raids. Diddy's case is completely huge because there are allegations of human teeing, substances. There's many different things here. So y'all can't compare these raids with the former president's raid, which had to do classified documents. That's it.
I appreciate you, but on the documents for that they got signed off for this thing, it was ST, right? But but we'll move forward. So
Well, didn't they have to get a warrant? Sorry, I
I'm
remember
gonna
to
move
do.
forward, Dustin. I'm sorry. I have to because I'm at 106 in the time here. I'm gonna move forward.
I'm sorry.
You know, we'll come to common ground on this and say, I think we all have a lot of things that we're saying similar. And I think the similar ground for all of us is he need to pay for whatever he did, but you need to charge him already. And let me tell you this too, and I'll move to the next story. They're not spending all this money for Homeland Security. Then they get in there and they don't got no darn slam dunk, but I'll move forward. Okay, so I want to move forward and I'm going to ease into the Lizzo case. I think Lizzo does a lot of playing with the words. She does a lot of playing in our faces, right? You want to write this whole thing on your social media like you're done, I quit, deuces, and then you want to come back and try to explain, no, I didn't mean I was quitting music. I love music. Girl, hold on one second. The wordplay. So it said, I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in my life and on the internet. Now she's saying the people in her life, well, okay, all I want is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views, but being the butt of the joke every single time because of how I look, my character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this stuff. I quit. So you do that play on words there, right? And that's loaded. It's loaded. When so many people take their lives these days, is loaded. Because I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me here, this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come out of it because her other piece that I wanted to show is right in this too. Then she comes back and then she wants to give this message.
I want to make this video because I just need to clarify. When I say I quit, I mean I quit giving any negative energy attention. What I'm not going to quit is the joy of my life, which is making music, which is connecting to people, because I know I'm not alone. In no way, shape, or form am I the only person who is experiencing that negative voice that seems to be louder than the positive. If I can just give one person the inspiration or motivation to stand up for themselves and say they quit letting negative people win, negative comments win, then I've done even more than I could have hoped for. With that being said, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep being me. Once again, I just want to say thank you. The love that I've received, means more than you know. I want to make this video.
The games people play. Leo.
How old is Lizzo?
You know, let me check as you talk. Go ahead.
Because I think she must be 29, early 30s.
Okay.
15. She is looking for something that social media can never be able to give her. And that is validation.
She's 35.
She's girl. You should be right at that age where you should be able to learn that others cannot give you validation. Validation has to be sought within. And she goes for this. She 1 minute she happy she big. The next minute, she is so upset people talking bad about her. She wants to show she is, body positive and can do what she want. And people are not one dimensional. I cannot say to her, you either got to be positive or you're not going to be positive about your body.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say to her is that you really, really care about what people say. And so you play these games, what you call it, wordplay, and then come back when you got all this validation and say, well, I never said I was going to quit music. Okay. So what was you saying then? You was getting ready to quit this life. So you're tired of being canceled on the socials. Then get yourself off the damn socials.
Come on now.
Stop it. Stop looking to outside people to validate your own worth. Go into therapy. Seek out others who have been in the industry and was caught up on the hamster wheel of trying to get likes and views and validation. Stop reading the comments. Put yourself on a regimen. Get yourself into something else. Girl, stop looking to other people to give you value within yourself. It's not going to happen. And get us off the line. Get us out the chat. Stop flexing on us. Why you here in a bathing suit to speak your truth? I really don't understand. Stop playing yourself as a caricature of someone who is body positive, but you crying at it. Then the next day you're gonna be somewhere crying. Leave us alone with that and go get your own help. And you got plenty of money.
Plenty.
Go get your own help that you need and stop looking at other people. And also, too, with all them charges the civil suits that's been against her, you're not doing yourself any favors, Lizzo, by coming out here acting erratic.
Come on now.
Talk to your counsel before them $100,000 lawyers you got. Talk to them before you start doing your stunts on social media, because that's not helping your case at all. Because we starting to believe what they say because you acting unhinged.
Unhinged. Come on, talk about it.
That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Leo. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, I'm right behind Leo. Yes, stop playing these games. Y'all don't want to get these validation from these people. Stop reading the comments. Turn off your comments. If you don't read, if you're not on the internet looking and you're not seeing what somebody's saying. So what I said before, my mom always told me, you go looking for stuff, you're going to find it. And sometimes you find things that you don't want to find. And then again, she needs to, if she doing body positivity and all that type of stuff, we get that. Everybody's body is different. Nobody's body is the same. If she lose weight, oh well. If she get hate by that, then she gonna be complaining, damn, I lost weight, now I'm still getting picked on. So it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. But what have quit is that bathing suit. I don't know why. Well, anyway, I'm not body shaming anything like that. I'm just saying that bathing suit got to go. But the thing of it is, stop, get off social media, leave it alone, do what you do, keep it to yourself. If you won't like people comments, don't read them. Turn off your comments. Then you won't be going through this. And then you're saying that you quit. If you quit that, you should just say, well, I quit social media, and not saying that you quit
Come
music.
on
You
now.
did it for clickbait. So that's what you did it for. And then you want sympathy from that. You want people to say, oh, we so sorry that you getting picked on. You did it to yourself. They keep doing this stuff to themselves, and then they be looking for us, like Leo said, to validate them. You did it yourself, girl. If you was gonna quit that, you just say, I'm quitting social media, and left it at that. And turn off your comments and deleted your Twitter. You got enough money. Go live on an island somewhere at the beach with an umbrella, drinking a drink with an umbrella in it. Just do that and leave us alone. That's all.
That's it, and that's all. Dr. Love, you're up.
Yes, so when I first heard this, I really did think she was talking about quitting life, because I said to one of my kids, like, somebody better go check on Lizzo. And for me, I really do feel like she was talking about quitting life. And I do feel like she was talking about, or she was, or maybe people have been, what do you call it, like body shaming her. And since she put out all of this positive for big girls, kind of like we'll say Monique done, is it's probably really getting to her. And I don't know if it's getting to her health wise as well, because that's the first thing I thought of too, to say, is there something unhealthy going on with you? So yeah, Lizzo, I don't know if she was talking about quitting music, quitting everything. But I did, the first thing I thought about was her saying she was ready to quit life. um so yeah, and I do think it has to do with body and health, and maybe those lawsuits too. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
Thank you, Sebastian. You're out.
Okay. Lizzo's problematic. Lizzo's very problematic. From the beginning, I've always thought about that. I've always thought that Lizzo was problematic. Body positivity doesn't have to equal nudity. Um, and inappropriate behavior, and Lizzo has given that multiple times. Nobody needs to see that. Like, I remember one time at some basketball game, her whole, it was too much. It was too much.
Rear end was out.
Yes. It was too much. There's children that go to those games. They don't need to see that. They don't. Lizzo's a little problematic, and I'm kind of there are people who defend her a lot. There are a lot of people who defend her. I know a lot of people who do. I know a lot of people who don't believe these allegations at all are true. A lot of people are saying, "Oh no, these are false. These girls just want some money. It's just a money grab. They need some money." No, it can be. These are there's certain patterns, and she has those patterns that are problematic. It's just no, it's disgusting. It's gross. Nobody wants to see all that. And mind you, a lot of people talked about her show that she did with the dancers, and they said that the dancers were practically completely bare on the show, bare, wearing clear clothes. It's just too much. It's too much, and people need to stop enabling this behavior. But I expect this because these are the same people who enabled a lot of actors and actresses' behavior. So I expect fans to be doing all this. And as you said, Diva, earlier in your video, zzz, zzz, they'll be enabling that type of behavior too. Get your honeycomb.
You're gonna stop. Thank you, Sebastian. E, you're up.
Well, like I used to tell the people I work with, never threaten people at your job that you're going to quit unless you're going to do it. Don't threaten me. Because as an entertainer who benefits from driving marketing from TikTok and Instagram to get people to come to her live shows,
Now talk.
her social media is equivalent to her office space. This is work. And I want to take this opportunity to follow behind in Dustin's footsteps today. And I want to give a shout out. Thank you for this idea, Dustin. I would like to shout out Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter, that is, aka the Queen Bee, BKA the Honey Bee, the greatest entertainer of all time. Because thank you for this idea, Sebastian. You have helped me as well because Beyonce
You're
received
welcome,
so
E.
much. Thank you. Beyonce has received so much negative feedback since the Super Bowl, and she took all of that negative feedback and she turned it into something constructive and dropped her first country album, which debuted at #1, if you all didn't know. And she currently occupies the top 8 spots on the Billboard chart with these country songs that some of the haters they want to claim that are not really country, but they are. So my point is, what Beyonce goes through in this industry that she's just been enduring for so many decades, what it makes what Lizzo experiencing seem like playground nuisances. This is a big girl's game here. You're at work. And for Lizzo to get on stage and shout out Beyonce at every award show and stand her as hard as she does on the internet, has she not learned anything? Beyonce would never get on the internet to address people's comments. Live, what's going live? I mean, Beyonce would never turn on her camera. She would put all of this feedback into a song and go number one. You see, Lizzo is acting like Stevie J, if you ask me. We just saw the video. Lizzo is clout chasing. She's trolling. She wants so much attention on a week where Beyonce is number one and the only one, in fact, and she wants us to feel sorry for her. Lizzo has actually spurred the opposite effect. You see, we do not feel bad for her. Most of us are actually annoyed and turned off. And I'm going to give Lizzo the same thing I gave to P. Diddy's kids. Go away from me with this. Bye-bye.
Tay.
I got it for the bees right here for you, okay? Don't come after me either. Because I got it's right here. Anyway, let's talk about Lizzo. I'm not a fan of Lizzo music. I never did. Because ever since her man dumped her, she's become this right here. She is immature. This is childish right here. Girl, grow up and put your big girl panties on. And get off the internet. I'm with Leah and Cash too. Just get off the internet, please. Because we sure don't want to see you on the internet every time you come here. Boo! That's all.
Thank you, Tay. Felicia, you're up.
Okay, sorry about that. You know, it's truly a pleasure for me to be on here with this panel because from the time Leo opened her mouth, Leo did such a great job. Thank you, Leo. I mean, you just went from A to Z with what all the problems are. But the one thing you did miss is that Lizzo's a very bad employer. Yeah, she's right up there with the Mr. Combs kind of employer. And she has issues that when she says, well, I quit, what is she telling the people? Don't come to work? You know, I'm terminating agreements. I don't know. I didn't even understand all of that. And then I thought, and I could be off, that she looks like she lost a lot of weight.
She did. She looks good.
Okay, Diva. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe she's taking something other than that Ozempic because it ain't going well. But anyway, in my opinion. And I said, so maybe this was like a promotion, or she telling people she quit, she's not paying these lawsuits. And I really would like for her to settle. You know, some people have an issue with settling lawsuits. And there's a reason why most lawsuits are settled. It's so that you don't have these ongoing issues that when people see you and you're not really putting out new music or whatever, that they're not reminded, as Leo said so beautifully, that you really should be communicating with your counsel to make sure that, you know, you're not out here saying and doing things that are going to trigger people into thinking that you are not going to be honorable. So I thought that's what she was selling, that and the eyeshadow. And I think she was just a mess. And it's unfortunate. And she should know that words matter because this is the industry that she's in. And that was irresponsible of her. So the people who care for her don't know what she means. The people who don't care for her still don't care for her. And I gotta, I gotta go with my girl Katrina. That blue, whatever that wasn't working. So you talk about negative attention. And this is exactly what you do. You come out like Leo says, you look like a caricature. You look like a joke. I'm supposed to take your issue seriously? No, settle these lawsuits. Okay, acknowledge that these people who are working for you have not been compensated. You haven't apologized. Go find something that's a little bit more attractive and tell us, what weight loss drug you take. I'm done.
Thank you. Julius, you're up. All right. Dustin, you're up.
I wanted to say that I don't. I'm not a big fan of Lizzo's music, and I hope that hope she gets some help that she needs very much. I hope she gets a lot of help she needs very much, and I'm not really a big fan of Lizzo in the first place, but I hope she gets the help that she desperately needs, and maybe she needs to take some time off of the whole thing.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you so much, Justin. So we're rolling right into the last story. And Cardi B is Cardi B. I think all of these celebrities have a similar thread going on with them. They think they're above the law, so to speak.
The year of exposure.
The Leaf exposure for sure, but above the law. So I'm scarred. Cardi B's alleged assault victim accuses rapper of using her celebrity status to get her fired after the altercation. So there's Cardi B, a female security guard who accused Cardi B of assaulting her at a medical office building, stated she needed plastic surgery after the alleged incident. According to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Imani Ellis detailed the aftermath following the February 24th, 2018 encounter with the Bodak Yellow rapper. So, what's interesting is, yes, at this moment, Diddy's being exposed at a high level for his stuff, but allegedly, Cardi B is a whole thug on the streets too. But we'll carry on beating up people. But she told us they all talk. She told us in her Valentine's Day video that she will bite somebody's face off for her man. But I'll continue. As we previously reported, Ellis claimed Cardi B attacked her at a Beverly Hills office building. The guard was working at the building when she noticed a musician leaving a doctor's office. Ellis says she approached Cardi, but the exchange went left. In the suit, the security guard claimed Cardi struck her head, face, and body. She went ham on her, allegedly, according to the girl. In the court documents, Ellis claimed Cardi used her long fingernails, causing Ellis to sustain facial injuries that required plastic surgery. Cardi also swung at Ellis to strike her in the face and body. The following read, Ellis accused the musician of using profanities and racial slurs during the alleged assault. Ellis' lawsuit demanded unspecified damages for the alleged injuries, medical anguish, and anxiety. In the newly filed motion, Ellis claimed Cardi was the aggressor and attacked Ellis while she was employed as a security guard. Defendant was not injured in the incident. She said defendant's intention was to cause injuries to plaintiff so she could not return to work. Defendant even used her celebrity status to get plaintiff fired from her post as a security guard. Defended by threats, coercion, intimidation, physical force, including assault and battery, prevented plaintiff from returning to work as a security guard, which was something she had a right to do under the law. So Cardi B out in the streets being a thug. 60 seconds, Leo. What are your thoughts?
Well, if this is a civil suit and not a criminal suit, then I have to question, what is this really all about? I don't see no pictures. I don't see no photographic evidence of her injuries. I don't see no doctor's report. I don't see any of that. They said it's in the civil suit. Hopefully, when it's made public, I can see the other evidence of the fact that Cardi B was the assailant in this particular incident. Am I surprised that Cardi will go ham? No, I'm not. But girl, you're gonna have to give me something else other than this.
Yeah. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, I'm with Leo on this one too. What made her go off on you like that? Did you say something to her? Did you touch her? I mean, why is she attacking you? It's not making any sense unless we get another side to the story, because what the story we getting is like one sided. So what made her attack you like that? And we already know how Cardi B do. She love to fight. We already know this. Or she'll have her goons. I mean, she'll have her goons doing it. So I'm just trying to figure out what made you do. What made her fight you, or what made her assault you? I mean, we're not getting nothing. And maybe Cardi will come out and tell us about it later. But we already know how Cardi get down. But either way, we can't say she's guilty or innocent because we only got her side of it. That's it. That's all I can say on that. I'm good, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Tay, 60 seconds.
Well, with Leo and Katrina, I'm not a fan of Cardi B, and I never will. She's just too much emotion for this man who did everything to her. So all I said, she need help. That's all, and that was so unladylike right there. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Felicia.
Listen, I was listening to you read the story. The security guard walked up on her.
Mm-hmm.
So she a whole fool. Because if she know her to recognize her, she knows that this woman will physically attack you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't walk up on her. Because she didn't tell us what happened afterwards. She didn't say, I asked for a picture.
Right.
I asked her for an autograph. I asked her where she was coming from, or could I help her? We didn't hear that part. But if you know that someone has a personality, that they're always aggressive, always fighting somebody, threatening to fight somebody, cussing people out, being disrespectful, why would you approach that person?
Right.
So there's a lot missing here. When we talk about lawsuits, this is a loss for this person. And they're going to end up having to pay their own attorney fees. And they're going to...
Yeah, no, you're right. Because look at this one right here. And I could believe this. Cardi was on a blog and said the lady took video of her and told people she was at an OBGYN office when pregnant. She violated HIPAA and got fired. I can roll with that. I can believe that. Because she did say she was coming out of her office. Messy.
And then she's saying something about, well, I have the right to work as a security guard. You wasn't her security guard.
That part. And she has a right to be in the office and not be bothered.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And Cardi is ghetto gutter trash. She will fight you. Okay, it's been a long week. I'm done.
Dr. Love.
I feel you, Felicia. I feel you.
Right, Felicia, you took the words right out my mouth because I don't ride with Carly either. After she said what she done to them guys, and I have sons, so I could never ride with her after that. I was before, but however, until I guess we figure out the story. Now, she was coming out of her office during her pregnancy, and someone approached her with a camera. I mean, it don't give you a right to go beat somebody up, but yeah, she's a whole funny mess. That's all I can say. All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you. E, you're up.
When we say, why would someone come up to Cardi knowing she fights? Well, I would guess that would be the same reason she has 169 million followers on Instagram, and 80% of them are women. Cardi is so disrespectful to Black women, and I don't care what that woman did. That doesn't give you the right to turn around and assault this person. And when I read this story, I was thinking, well, now I understand why Cardi is pressing Unwind with Kevin Hart so hard for this 20 million, because Cardi and that Black man of hers who she's married to have more money going out than they do coming in. They stay with a lawsuit. So fast forward in 10 years, they're going to be the next Diddy and the next Epstein. That suit said Cardi spit on her. She used racial slurs, which I can believe because Diva, you played the video, and she said the N-word left and right. She struck her in the head and got her fired from her job. What's the difference? You had the baby. We all knew about it. You posted the pictures. I don't care if you were at the OBGYN office or at the military camp and you get ready to sign up to go fight in Benghazi. Leave me alone. Pay that woman her money and stop fighting Black women. I have a problem with that.
Sebastian, you're up.
Well, I see someone put in the comments, Emmanuel and Sebastian may need CPR. We're talking about their fave. Cardi's not my fave, number one. That's something I want to make clear.
Yeah, party only Tuesday. Go ahead, Sebastian.
Cardi's not my fave, number one. Two, last time I checked, some people are saying, oh, this woman probably could have been recording her or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what? So what if she was? I forgot. Y'all are forgetting our First Amendment right, which is free press. If she was recording her and was going to send something to TMZ, so what? She was making her check. She wanted to make her check. Let her.
It comes with the job. Come on, Sebastian.
Exactly. So what? It does not justify Cardi B's actions. You do not spit on someone. You do not hurt someone because they recorded you. And if they did come up to you, it depends on how they came up to you. I'll give her that. It depends on how they came up to you. So what? Cardi has an issue. She likes to resort to violence, and it needs to be yes. And last time I checked, it's not that too long ago. She was doing community service for another violent altercation. Remember that? It was in New York.
She was.
Yes.
Well, that's facts.
Yes. Um,
Mhm.
no. You like to do stuff with the hands a lot. Don't be like Remy Ma and have to go clink clink behind the bars a couple years.
Yeah, where's Homeland Security?
Mm.
That's it.
Thank you, Dustin. You're up.
I just want to say that I don't I don't I feel bad. I don't feel bad for Lizzo. I think that Lizzo is getting what she Lizzo needs to have a little bit of therapy about this, but she needs to continue on. If she wants to continue on, maybe she needs to be off the social media.
Thank you, Dustin.
Right.
All right. Let me I'm moving on to our feel good story. Hold on one second, guys. Let me play this. Cause y'all too much. It's only Tuesday, like somebody said.
We may be seeing Diddy in some cuffs in the next couple of days.
The only way we learn from the past. Contributor Mark Whitaker tells us about a public space transformed to tell the story of slavery.
So you step off this boat, and we go now through 400 years of history.
That's right.
In Montgomery, Alabama, wedged between a maze of train tracks and the river, a long neglected plot of land has been transformed.
Our artists have the ability to depict the humanity and the dignity of people, even in the midst of something brutal and violent.
It's now home to the Freedom Monument Sculpture Park, the vision of lawyer and social activist Bryan Stevenson. The 17-acre park, set to open this month, is filled with nearly 50 sculptures by world-famous artists like Kehinde Wiley, Simone Lee, and Kwame Akoto-Banfa.
In this region, cotton plantations were everywhere.
And here you see all the generations.
Yes,
you see
exactly.
Collectively evoking the history of slavery in America.
It's a tough subject, it's a challenging subject, and we wanted to use art to help people manage the weight of this history and engage in a more complete way with the lives of enslaved people.
It's the latest project for Stevenson, founder and director of the Equal Justice Initiative, or the EJI, also based in Montgomery. For more than 30 years, Stevenson and his team have provided legal services to people on death row, to date overturning more than 140 convictions and sentences.
10 lashes,
That's
39
He
lashes.
says understanding the racial injustices of the present begins by reckoning with the tortured legacy of the past.
As they say, the truth can set us free. And I genuinely believe that there is something that feels more like freedom, more like equality, more like justice waiting for us in America. But I don't think we'll get there if we don't find the courage to talk honestly about our past.
Over the years, the EJI has expanded its mission to building cultural sites in Montgomery, like the Legacy Museum and the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, focusing on America's history of lynching.
There were 10 million people who were enslaved in this country. And much of what I hope we can do is honor those who struggled and suffered and those who endured and persevered.
That begins by taking park visitors across the Alabama River, a route taken by tens of thousands of enslaved Africans.
You'd see these boats with enslaved people chained in the bottom, docking just up here, just a half mile from here. And then there would be what enslaved people referred to as the weeping time, the time where they had to fear being separated from children, separated from spouses.
The park mixes artifacts of slavery, like these 170-year-old plantation dwellings.
We've documented dwellings where people were living in the same dwellings that their foreparents lived in during enslavement until the 1990s.
And this whipping post.
You begin to see why it is so ominous. Enslaved people would be chained on those hooks on the side and would be standing and then be beaten and lashed.
With powerful works of artistic imagination, such as Strike by artist Hank Willis Thomas.
I love this piece. It's so important. I could have never imagined that there would be a place this meaningful for this work to exist.
Obviously, violence, resistance. What else were you trying to evoke?
I'm also thinking about peace and resolution. In this case, the gesture of just stopping the brutality begins the opportunity for us to find peace.
That theme of resilience continues down the pathway to the park's centerpiece, a 43-foot tall monument filled with names, designed by Stevenson himself.
The names come from the 1870 census. That was the first time that formerly enslaved people could claim a name that would be recognized by the government, that would be recorded for history.
People mostly think that they got all those names from their enslavers, but
Yeah.
that's not necessarily true.
No, only about 40% adopted names that were associated with an enslaver to kind of maintain these kinship lines that had been created on plantations, brothers, sisters, cousins. They wanted to stay connected and they needed a name to bring that together.
In total, there are 122,000 surnames, including my own.
I see it. I see it.
Yes,
there it
that's
is.
it.
There
That
it
is
is.
it.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
Well, that was speaking to you. Most people don't find it that quickly and that easily.
Wow. It's moving, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is.
And with one T.
With one T.
Those are my people. We're the one T Whitakers.
On the back, you'll see a 2T or somewhere else.
Then and now, Brian Stevenson says, the towering memorial is also a metaphor for the hope of a better future in the distance.
We will continue to struggle for the freedom that you died for. That's what I think we owe those who've suffered before us.
You're on mute.
Thank you. I played this piece in connection with this story because I went to this speech one time, and the speaker was saying that our connection to a lot of things that currently goes on in our life in terms of our culture, and I'm talking about the Black culture for 1 minute, is that, you know, like he said in that piece, there was a weeping time where the families would be separated, the husbands would be pulled away from the wives, and the children would be pulled away from the moms, and so forth and so on. And just, you know, the breakdown and the destruction of the family. And it seems as if like there's so many correlations to that, where, you know, you have men creating, you know, families outside of being in a marriage, and just leaving all of these moms to be single moms and the kids to be in fatherless homes and so forth and so on. The conversation was just kind of next level, and how they were beaten at that time. And, you know, and it seems like there are some, and it's never all, there's never anything, but it's all in everybody, where they struggle, these Black men, with putting their hands on, the Black females, so forth and so on. You got, unfortunately, you know, a case of like the Jonathan Majors. You have a case like, you know, these other females that are saying like, these men, they put their hands on me, they beat me, they this, they that, whatever. We can have a greater conversation on that, of how, and the whole conversation was like, the chains have been broken, but they were replaced by invisible chains, because we're still mentally, physically, and emotionally enslaved. right? Even when it comes to us helping each other, when it comes to the workplace, when it comes to our communities, we will know about a program, but we'll see our next door neighbor struggling and we won't give them the information about said program. It's just so sad the way that we operate. I call it all the time. I say black on black crime, where we as a community and as each other in the workplace, in the schools and everywhere else, where we just don't support, we don't connect. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. So I'll circle back and bring it to this. The Diddy's in the world, for whatever he's allegedly being accused of. You got, a Lizzo, for whatever it is she's being accused of. It's like the amount of pain we suffer anyway, period. And then the amount of pain we put on each other. And a lot of times when you have individuals selling substances in the community, connect with me if you can, right? Because you can't say so many words on YouTube. We're selling it in our own community. And the minute we step out of our community and try to put that poison in another community, that's when we get locked up. That's when we get shut down. But they leave us in our community to destroy our own community and destroy our own lives. And we can do that for decades upon decades upon decades. I'm telling you, if you go and you Google this K2, they called that a whole epidemic, pandemic. They called it something when that K2 was out in the streets. And they called it a whole epidemic or something like that because it went outside of the Black and brown community, and it was unaliving everybody, right? The street pharmaceutical reps, come on, Special K. It was unaliving everybody. And that thing was on the news. And they made it a global thing that we have to stop this and shut this down. And the next thing you know, I never heard about K2 again. But I'm going to stop there and
Don't
just
forget about Spice, Diva. They did the same thing with they call Spice.
Yeah, but I'm going to stop there because we can have a greater conversation about this. But I say to all of us together here, right, because we're building a community, and a lot of you, I see you all the time. You support me. You're connected with me. And I want to say on a very high level, I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'm praying that we all just be better to one person, one moment, one day at a time. That's it, and that's all. And that's why, you know what, too? There's a lot of, for anybody that wants to do YouTube, I encourage you, you should do it. But there is a lot of backfighting, backbiting, and all kinds of stuff. And I tell you, my only contribution to this thing is I don't engage. I don't participate in it. I don't get down with it. That's my contribution to the people and the people beyond that look like me. I won't engage in it.
Diva, can I?
Now, give me a minute, Dustin, please. I'm not about tearing down anybody in my own people. We can all survive out here. We can all thrive. It's the slave mentality and thinking that we have to feel like we got to tear each other down just so we could win. Listen, guys, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I really, really, truly do appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said, if you could do anything for the rest of this month, be kind to your neighbor, be kind to somebody, support. Dustin, really quick, 60 seconds, because I didn't work out today and I got to go do a walk in 60 seconds.
I just want to say I made an announcement a couple of days ago on JoJo Speaks channel, and I want to thanks for everybody for the support. Thanks to everybody for the support, Diva.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. If you didn't hit that like button coming in, hit the like button going out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. In my opinion, love you, girlfriend. Feel better. Take care of yourself. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat the Diva.